Everyone, Michael Kerr here, Humor at Work. I have a special guest with me today. He's a friend of mine. He sits with me on the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers National Board. He's a fantastically nice, awesome guy, so I have to admit I'm a little biased here. And the reason he's a special guest today here on Humor at Work TV is because he is the author of this fabulous new book that I highly recommend, Surviving to Thriving, the 10, and I want to get the subtitle right, the 10 Laws of Grateful Leadership. Steve, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to serve with you on the CAPS National Board as well, too. Thanks for all you do for CAPS and keeping us smiling.
We have a lot of fun. You can, for those of you that sit on boards, remember, it should be fun.
It should be.
So what got you down this road of speaking and writing about gratitude as a topic? Why do you think it's so important for people in their lives, for people in workplaces especially, and that's what I speak on, of course, workplace culture. Why is it so important to bring that attitude, that mindset of gratitude into our lives and our workplaces?
Well, gratitude, like humor, like the one thing that they share, one of the things they share in common is that they induce approach behaviors. They cause us to want to be curious, to explore, to open to possibilities, right? It's not a fear, fight, or flight. So gratitude, it's foundational to that. And the second reason is Martin Seligman, founder of modern positive psychology, has a model for thriving leadership and living a flourishing life. There are 24 positive character strengths associated with this model of PERMA. And it's like, Mike, how do you work on 24 things, right?
I could barely work on one thing at a time.
Okay, so, same with me. So fortunately, one of his colleagues looked at the 24 and said, of the 24, which is the best predictor of living a flourishing life? And gratitude. So it is, so if you want to live as a thriving leader and want to lead thriving teams, breeding more gratitude at work is going to be, one of the best things you can do to make that happen.
Well, and I am struck on that note by how much research there is about this topic lately. In the last, maybe 5 years, 10 years even, there's been an explosion of research. And so much of it, to your point, talking about how important gratitude is in terms of our overall happiness, our success, how they're literally, as you can make a connection to a financial payout even for bringing more gratitude into your workplace. And I love, on that note of the connection to humor, you do say in your book that gratitude is like laughter. And I love that thought.
Right. That idea that you can intellectually get laughter and what humor is, right? But until you actually experience it, they're similar there as well too. And the research really has exploded over the last 5 years, Michael, and more recently, researchers are starting to pay attention to gratitude at work and making those connections and how it leads to more civil workplaces and more behaviors that are considered civil, as they call it in the research. In fact, the last 3 months, I haven't been able to keep up with I've just got this backlog of articles, of journal articles to read.
You talk, Steve, too, about the difference between state gratitude and trait gratitude.
Yeah.
Can you explain what the difference is, what those mean?
Yeah, so state gratitude, if you can think of at an instant in time, is your instant, what state are you in? Happiness, sad. So state gratitude, it fluctuates up and down. I won the lottery, something tragic happens. And, so our instantaneous gratitude is state gratitude. The trait gratitude is it's sort of our set point. And, the higher the set point, the easier it is for us to be grateful. And this is the thing, the trait gratitude, this is the thing that we can work on and you can increase over time so that you can be more grateful. You're just more predisposed to being grateful. And when we do that, we're actually rewiring our brains. And for some people, it's easier to be grateful. Other people, it's harder, but we can change that just by practice, just like exercising, building our muscles.
Just like anything, right? It's a habit. You have to create habits.
Just create simple, and it's so very, very simple habits, like making a list of what you're grateful for, and just do that once a day. Doesn't matter when you do it in your day, but just do it once a day. And your brain will start noticing the good around you. It doesn't make all the crap disappear, but it reframes how it keeps our brain in a positive frame of mind, so the executive function still works, right? Humor, it keeps the fear and fright away, so that you can function, like use your critical thinking skills. And we need that at work more than ever.
Right. So, Steve, do you have a couple of tips? And let's look at it from the workplace perspective. What are a few tips you have that could help people to just bring more gratitude into their workplace, bring it into their workplace culture, so it becomes one of their norms, it becomes one of their core values?
Yeah, and a couple organizations I work with actually name gratitude as a core value. So it's something that you could, as a team, look at and say, does this really reflect who we are and what we believe? So you could bring it in as a value. On a daily basis, start your meetings with, let's share one thing we're grateful for. And you can mix it up by going around the table and saying, okay, let's just do a little ping pong exercise where, Steve, I'm going to randomly pick one person at the table and talk about what I'm grateful for about Mike. And then Mike's got to pick someone else at the table, and you just go around the table. Start your meeting like that. It can take, 4 or 5 minutes, but it totally changes the atmosphere that you're going to set in your meeting. And that could be a formal meeting, or it could just be the two of us sitting down having a conversation. We're going to talk about a project we're working on together. Just start it by, let's share one thing we're grateful for.
Yeah, it really is that simple. I have a client who has a gratitude wall of appreciation, right, where they encourage people to just write down different things that they are grateful for. And it's so simple, it makes such a big, big difference. Now, I'm sure you found this too, when you start to do these things sometimes, or suggest these things, you get the odd person who kind of rolls their eyes and thinks, oh man, this is just so stupid or corny. How do you get past that, or how do you deal with those people?
I try not to judge them, because I was that person. I was the one thinking, I don't know. I was always really positive, but I don't know. I just know that it's going to make a difference. And in fact, if for you out there, if you've got colleagues like that, everyone else around them, if you are positive, the research out there will shows that when that negative person or person who thinks, oh, this is stupid, when they're later surveyed about job satisfaction, they find their job satisfaction actually goes up when the people they work with are bringing more gratitude. And I believe, and I am very positive and optimistic, is that you're still having an impact on that person who might be sitting back reserved because I don't know what's going on in their life. And when the time is right, they'll remember that. And because I've had it happen to me, people have come up to me on the street and they've said, yeah, Steve, I remember that session you did. I don't know if you remember me, but I put that journal you gave me away, and then I fell on hard times. And it's like, I wonder if that thing would work. And he tried it. And this one guy, and he just said, it made an incredible difference in my life. But there's those that you're never going to be able to convert. And I don't know what to say to them. I say what I'm going to say anyhow.
Right. Well, and I find too that those people, if you just start doing it and you commit to turning it into a habit, that so often they eventually come along. So the first few times they might roll their eyes and think, okay, but once you start doing it and once it becomes the norm, some of those folks are the ones that end up loving it the most, appreciating it the most.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you make it easier to to express your genuine care and concern for other people that you work with, when that becomes the norm, it's not easy to be that other person that doesn't do it. And you're right, they'll come around.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So the book is Surviving to Thriving. Where, Steve, can people find this fabulous book?
They can find it. Thank you for asking. There's this guy called Jeff Bezos has a company called Amazon.
I've heard of that company. Yeah.
If you're Amazon Prime, you can read the ebook as part of your membership. It's available there. If you go to my website, gratitudeatwork.ca, you can order a personally signed copy from the author, and I'd be pleased to send that to you. So either Amazon or our website.
Fabulous. And I have a signed autographed copy from the author.
Very nice.
I'm grateful for that, Steve. I'm expressing my gratitude to you for writing this book and for the special authoring. What's the word? Special, signing. What's the term?
I don't know what it is. You're putting me on the spot. So I want to swing this around and say grateful to you for having me on your show today. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the insightful questions too.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thanks.